Oh, hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome to round number 3 of the North American Grand Prix Monday night open wheel championship, coming to you this evening from Monaco, circa 1966, in the Ferrari 1967 Ferrari 312. Looking forward to a great race here tonight, and I am joined by my broadcast partner, as always on Mondays. Brad, welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Al. About ready to click over to qualifying here. This is the first true survival night of season 33. These guys are going to be tested in every way from Sunday here just to keep this darn thing between the armcos and all the suspension pieces straight. Some guys are not going to manage that feat here tonight, Al. So big fireworks in store for this third round of the championship.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about here tonight. Well, we got a few seconds, a minute here or so before we flip it over to qualify and take a look at the track map for tonight's race. Roughly 14 corners around the this older layout of Monaco, 3.1 kilometers, just under 2 miles. Pretty dangerous track as we have flipped over to qualifying and the drivers are away. But yeah, it's going to be a test of test of survival here tonight, Brad, around here.
Yeah, it has the potential to be a pretty seriously brutal race tonight. If your hopes are to win the season 33 championship, then you need to have a good run tonight. And some of those hopefuls are not going to have a good night tonight, I can guarantee it.
That is true. We've seen some of the quicker drivers here tonight making a lot of mistakes. Trying to push the limit here at the end of practice to try and set most likely a good qualifying lap here. The best time so far in the practice leading up to tonight was a 22.6 set by Kevin Kirkbride. We'll see how that holds up here, but the guys are making their way out for their out lap. You're watching on Twitch. The link at the bottom of the spotters guide. There it is. All the different drivers from tonight's race and the cars and the livery. So check that out if you're wondering who's in what car. And we're going to jump on board for a lap around this place with Philippe Samar, the winner of the first 2 rounds of the series here on Monday night and championship leader.
Yeah, it looks like he's first to act coming up to that first turn, still named Santivo. I mean, all the turns are more or less the same, right? So coming up here through the twisty stuff up the hill. So this is what's going to be catching these guys out. Now, Samard did a nice job dirt tracking around there as he heads into the casino now. But it's the braking that is going to catch these guys out. As we see again, those rears lighting up under braking and big correction. Okay, well, this is a problem because you lose the front control of the car, right? And through some of these corners, I tell you, there's so little grip on offer coming down through the hairpin and the corner that I can't remember now, coming up the tunnel, taking it way wide. That curve is actually pretty slick out there, but he held it pretty well. Very tricky just all the way around this place. Insanely difficult to get the braking and throttle right as Samar does not. Oh, he gets it wrong through the chicane. So there you go. Now,
let's see, Kirkbride's made it through there okay and jumped on board with him to finish the lap.
yeah, got through Tobacco okay, and then coming up to the last corner, which I cannot pronounce, but anyway, it's the final corner before the front stretch. He'll be setting the time, but we saw Smart go off at the chicane. That's going to be the problem, Al. One of those front runners throws it off in there in the first lap, and we're boned.
So, Kirkbride immediately sets best lap of the we've seen so far with a 23.5. Joe LaCour quickly slots into second. Actually, take that back. DeGrasse slots into second. Half a second off of Kirkbride's pace, 24.1.
I tell you right now, Al, Kirkbride's the happiest guy out there. DeGrasse, Joe LaCour, these guys have decent laps in because, man, there's going to be some traffic out there. And now that the test of those guys is to try to better that lap. And it's going to be tough trying to get a lap in just without any traffic, but then having the traffic with it, it's going to be rough qualifying.
About 2/10 off in the first sector, making his way into the tunnel area.
Yeah, still with a bit of freedom for DeGrasse, so he's got to be happy about that. But a bit off that first sector time.
This is not. Well, it looked like he did take it flat out through there. Might have been a little bit of a lift.
It's possible to take it through the tunnel corner flat out. Just barely. You have to be careful, but it's there. Mark DeGraw looking to go third. A lot of guys tonight will be using only 3 gears, or some will.
DeGraw going up to 4th. Get the gear package on board for DeGraw, but he comes to the line to see if he can improve his time, and he does. Wow, picked up a lot of time in that last sector. Finishes 900ths off of Kirkbride.
Yeah, it looks like he has low 23s in it, that's for sure. So I gotta tell you, that 22.6 or whatever it was, best lap set by Kirkbride. Pretty impressive lap during the week of qualifying, particularly with the weight that he's carrying around.
Moses sets a 25.6 as Matt Taylor. On board with him, he is currently in 3rd. He looks like he is on an outlap. Zach Hefner currently in 4th, making his way through the tunnel complex into this very difficult to navigate chicane.
That was all the way up to 5th gear for a second.
Yeah, that's a good job threading the needle there.
Well, that's the thing. Again, there's a bump in the braking zone coming into the chicane, which really unsettled the car, and just throw the front end right into the chicane. It's horrible. Samard, that's his time, goes to the front.
Wow, 22.8, 7/10 better than Kirkbride. The camera's acting a little sketchy, but Hefner does not improve his time. Let's keep in mind, Samard carrying 40 kilograms of ballast. He won the last 2 races. The winner of a race gets 20 kilograms of ballast, so he's carrying the added weight here tonight. He is on and out lap. Actually, no, he's following Joe had to check up to an incident in front. Moses has jumped up to 3rd. Just over half a second off of the leader, Samard.
Yeah, that's right. You talked about the weight, and that actually could be a benefit because these cars actually are stabilized a little bit by that weight, strangely enough, at least with the fuel weight. So success ballast, penalty weight, not sure, but it might actually help stabilize these cars.
Ooh, Kirkbride gets it wrong, right? In a trouble spot in that chicane. Parsons had a very good lap going there. And Kirkbride got it all wrong.
Exactly what I was talking about. With those strong first runs, those guys have a little bit of breathing room. Kirkbride, they aren't going to slip so far back. But now, if you're beyond the 10th starting position, you have to deal with stuff like that now.
Well, with Moses, just a little bit of time there in sector 2. Go off the pace. Samard is looking very quick. He is 2/10 up in the first sector.
Yeah, I think what was it that we saw? 22.6 was the best we saw in the week of practice. Best lap. Samard on pace to eclipse that. Ooh, tags the curbing on the outside of coming into the back.
He has pulled it into the pit. Jolicoeur lets it run. Kirkbride in 4th. DeGraw now in 5th. And then Parsons on an out lap currently in 6th. Hefner in 7th and has just begun a hot lap here. Takes off in second 1. Heavy of traffic in front of Hefner.
Yeah. Yeah, and guy he can probably run a second faster than he has put in already, right? But you know, what do you do? There's nothing you can do.
Right to the chicane. Really got it going well through there. Struggling a little bit in the second sector. Tight through the final corner. A lot of guys swinging out wide through there, but yeah, Hefner has not improved.
Boy, see the guys queuing up at the end of pit lane. That is going to be a problem here tonight. That pit lane exit is extremely difficult, Al. That is right on the line these drivers have to take to get up through there.
Taylor currently in 8th. On an outlap, Lemansky currently in the 9th spot. He is the 10th off in sector 1. Makes his way through this chicane cleanly.
Well up on his time at the moment. His back is very difficult. That big bump on entry. You just have to be so patient, way more patient than you really want to be. But Lemansky is still looking very good to improve his time substantially here if he can get off the final corner.
Should be a good lap for Lemansky. And it is. Jumps up to 3rd, bumping Moses down a spot. So great lap for Kevin. John Watson showing some nice pace here, currently in 10th.
Yeah, he was not only in this qualifying session, but in the week of practice as well, showing some very nice times.
And for the back, Sean Ricker. 11th spot. Also on an outlap, John Houston in the pits, 13th, languishing back in 13th. Alan Jacobs, you mentioned he was ran a pretty nice lap in practice session, currently in 14th as the draw goes green in the first section. Jesse Olsen back in 15th. Ryan Robbins in the pits in 16th. Giorgia back in 17th currently. 13 and a half minutes to go in the session. Joe Leckman back in 18th. Jake Meemster running in the 20th spot. Myers in 21st. Gary Roth, his teammate, currently in 22nd. Followed by Traskell, Mascarelli, and I believe we got no calls for Story and Gomez. Kirkbride is up big in sector 1.
DeGraw was on a pretty good lap. Unfortunately, made a mistake coming off the final corner, so he will not improve on that lap.
Yeah, he was for sure. It's just Kirkbride up in the first 2 sectors.
Oh, that type of slide there costs you so much time. Cost Kirkbride a couple tenths, so still not looking too bad.
Hefner just improves his time. Giorgia should be a problem here for Kirkbride. Kirkbride comes to the stripe. Ooh, loses a bunch of time in that final sector. Meanwhile, Lemansky is up. DeGraw is up. See where Lemansky is on track. Just makes his way through the chicane. DeGraw about to go through the same spot. Gets through cleanly. DeGraw is up. Lemansky slightly down in sector 2. Ooh, as Ricker gets it wrong. Let's see how that affects Lemansky's time here. Lost some time there in the final sector. DeGraw's got a good lap, Sean. Ooh, he picked up a spot, but
yeah, he keeps sliding wide. Yeah, keeps sliding wide coming into the last corner is DeGraw. Keeps losing time there.
Go with the good first sector. Alan Jacobs will go green in sector 1. Loses some time there in the second sector. Jolicoeur gets it wrong. Jacobs here is making his way through sector 1.
Yeah, an important qualifying session, really for anybody not named, I mean, well, for everybody, but, you know, for everybody who isn't Philippe Samard or Kevin Kirkbride or let's say Zach Hefner, right? The top are championship contenders. It's pretty important qualifying for all those guys below them, right? So
Jacobs
they are...
with another nice first sector, sorry, bro.
Yeah, I have to look far back because he has not quite completed one of those laps yet. We know he can, right?
His way into the tunnel. Struggling a bit there in that second sector. Meanwhile, Kirkbride up big in the first sector, 3/10 up. And he's got some traffic ahead of him. There's Traskell. Traskell also on a flyer.
Yeah, started out with that great lap, and see, he's still holding in 7th.
Backs out of it.
Right? Because if you don't get that lap and make a mistake on the first one, you run a 27 or something, you're back in 16th, and you're still back there at this point, then you're really sweating. So Kirkbride's still in 7th, you see, you know, so you still got it, there's still light at the end of the tunnel, right? Still something you can do.
Lemansky seems to be getting quicker here in this session. Green in the first sector. Uh-oh. He got it wrong there, going through the chicane. Loses a couple tenths in sector 2. Let's see if he can make it up in this final sector, but he has been struggling a bit here. Looks like he
might be backed
yeah,
out of
I think
it.
so too.
Saving up for another lap, but 8 minutes 30 to play here, so these guys are running out of opportunities.
Houston can pick up some time here. Up to 10th. His time, but lost the bunch in the final sector, good enough for 13th. Taylor looking strong here in sector 1 and sector 2. Nice exit.
He's on a pull type time if he can survive the final corner and Zach Hefner in front. I think he's up big, Al.
Yep, I think so too. It's going to be a good lap for Taylor. Boom. 22.5 to provisional pole for Matt Taylor. Nice job for him. Meanwhile, Samard has gone green in sector 2. Lots of traffic ahead of him. And Samard backs out of it. Why Kirkbride is so far up in the first sector.
Yeah, on board and looking at the performance delta, I don't think that's an accurate time. I mean, I don't think it's actually registered.
Just be a timing glitch here on our part.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe so.
Is going to come to the line and is not going to improve.
I think that was an outlap of some type. The timing got a little messed up.
All right. So Taylor remains on pole. 6 minutes to go. Only driver currently on a flyer is Moses, and we've got a couple guys, but for the top 10, Moses and Kirkbride. Moses struggling in that first sector. I'm surprised, I gotta admit, that both not carrying weight, Moses and Parsons, struggling the way they are.
Well, the best laps we saw, more or less, really, well, Matt Taylor was up there, but it's Kevin Kirkbride and Philippe Simard, right? So, our two championship leaders, and both with weight, and pretty massive weight, also. So, yeah, very interesting. Go figure.
Kirkbride has a nice second sector. Keep it together here in this final corner.
I think he backed off. There's traffic in front. He backed off.
Oh, he did. In 19th.
He's starting to get a little agitated, I think. This is currently our second place driver in the championship standings here. We know that he has extremely good speed. He has not been able to do anything with it here, or as much as he'd like in this qualifying session. Keeps getting balked by lap traffic or making mistakes.
So what Ricker can do here, if he can pick up a spot, he is not. He's going to remain in 12th.
12th on the grid is not where I'd want to be, Al. I can tell you that right now.
Core carrying 10 kilograms of ballast. These two guys, this team, Joe McCord and Simard, French Connection, really got something figured out with this car. The weight doesn't seem to do well, especially for Simard. He's managing. I mean, I'm not sure how much the weight is going to play a factor in this race, only because, I mean, like you said, it's kind of helping the car out around here in some ways.
It's making it a bit more stable. Yeah, it does stabilize the car a little bit.
But there's no real long straights where that weight could hamper you, or as Joe LaCour sets a personal best of 22.3. Sorry, 22.8. Not far off of his teammate.
Good lap by Ian, and meanwhile, everyone else is running out of time. Just a couple laps left to go for these guys that want to do it. Moses back there in 5th. Zach Hefner 3rd in our championship standings at 7th. Kirkbride teammate. Kirkbride in 8th. Aaron Parsons 9th. A few guys looking to pick up some spots here, Al.
Let's see what Hefner can do here. Not going to improve. That clock's ticking on Kirkbride.
Yeah, it
on
really
and out lap.
He had a clean lap last time by and just did not flat get it done in the 3rd sector. Was ahead of his time, but and on the first 2 sectors, but didn't get it done in the 3rd sector.
Simard comes out of the pits for one more shot at this. Hefner 4/10 off in sector 1. Taylor 8/10 off his personal best in sector 1, so it's a throwaway lap for him.
These guys are really pushing as hard as they possibly can, knowing the importance of this qualifying period. Olsen puts his best lap in.
Through the final corner. Pretty clean. Not sure if he's going to be able to pick up any time here. He does not. Brow with a strong first sector. Kirkbride off 2/10 in sector 1, making his way through the tunnel.
on Mirabeau, so damage on Kirkbride's machine, but not of the suspension variety. Well,
Evan Miller up in sector 1.
Oh boy.
Now we're sitting in 10th. Sorry to interrupt you.
That's all right. Keep us abreast. Keep us apprised.
Kirkbride can do here in the final sector.
It's going to have to be the next lap here, his last lap, if he wants to do it.
Oh, he loses a bit of time here, but he could move up a couple spots. Hard up in sector 1. Miller can do here as he comes to the line and is not going to improve. Samard's done. He's parked it. Meanwhile, Joe LaCour up, DeGras up. Kirkbride down a 10th. He's making his way into the tunnel.
Took a nice chance through there and it paid off.
LaCour was up in the first 2 sectors, but he is still on track here. This could be a good lap for Joe LaCour. Looking strong in the first 2 sectors as well. Joe LaCour comes to the line. Ooh, bumps his teammate to second. Hefner does not improve. DeGras. Not a great exit out of that final corner, but good enough to move him up to 4th.
Wow.
Let's see, Hefner still on a flyer. And Hefner not going to improve. And that's going to do it. Excuse me, Matt Taylor snatching pole here in round 3. Finally, someone has put in a quicker lap time in qualifying in this season 33, besting the French connection, Ian Joe LaCour and Philippe Samard. Great lap from Matt Taylor, Brad.
Yeah, absolutely a great lap, and it is nice to see somebody else up there for a change. But even though we're early in the season, but you still can't take much away from the French connection, can you? Starting 2 and 3, and I got to tell you, I don't know if Ian Joe LaCour clipping teammate Samard is necessarily a good thing or not. Maybe if Ian jumps out front, then Philippe doesn't have to worry about Ian kind of hounding him if Philippe is a little slowed with the weight. I'm not sure. It might be better to to have your teammate behind you and protecting you a little bit from behind, possibly. But I tell you, this race is more or less going to be a crapshoot. The main thing you really want is to be like in the first 5 cars.
Yeah.
If you aren't in the first 5 cars, then it really is kind of a crapshoot. So congrats to those guys in the top 5. Everyone else, best of luck.
Good luck, Godspeed, for sure. It is going to be a true test here. Attrition expected to be high. We've seen it high in the past at this race. And what is it, the Lotus 72 or the 72D, I think it was, and a couple other cars. It's just a tough track to navigate. But some were saying that this layout isn't really as difficult as the versions we ran before. But given the car and they're trying to navigate around here, it's going to be very, very tricky for sure.
In some ways, this car and track combination is a little more difficult, I would say, than even the fearsome 98. It's really the braking that can catch you out, and losing the rear and under braking and losing control is a big concern around the most dangerous corners on this track. And it's a concern on every single corner basically, which can kill you. So it's problematic to push for any speed at all. And even if you aren't, even if you're trying to be safe, the smallest lapse of concentration can really catch you out. So it's going to be a test, and I look forward to it. I like this type of racing. I like the danger element and the kind of driving and testing oneself, right? So this is going to be a good show.
Well, talking to Parsons, who's he's been racing with us since 2007, season guy, multi-championship winner. But talking to him earlier tonight, he said the same thing. He said this is the hardest car and track combination I've ever driven. So that's saying a lot coming from him.
Boy, no doubt.
All right, we got just over three and a half minutes to go here. Talk quickly about the driver championship. After 2 rounds, it is Philippe Samard leading with 52 points, followed by Kirkbride in second with 40, Hefner in third with 32, Joe LaCour fourth, 27 points, and Matt Taylor now with 27 points, tied with Joe LaCour after snatching pole here and getting that extra bonus point. The team situation, French Connection leading slightly over Podium Hunters. That's Ian and Philippe with 79 points. Podium Hunters, Zach Hefner and Kevin Kirkbride has 72. Then we got a little bit of a gap here between second and third. Captain Clutch, Matt Taylor, and Mark DeGras with 50 points. PMR, Thomas Schubeck and Chris Moses with 24. And Team Blue Gloves, Kevin Miller and Brian Story with 22 points. And I think those points were all scored by Kevin Miller this far, Brad.
Oh, interesting.
So, this could be a game changer here in the standings for sure, depending how things turn out. But, like we said, attrition's going to play a big role here, and we're just going to have to wait and see how this all plays out. But let's run down the starting order here tonight, Brad. What do you say?
Sure.
All right, from pole, it's going to be Matt Taylor. His first pole position of the season, followed by Ian Jolicoeur starting in second. Philippe Samard's going to start third. Mark DeGras in fourth, and Kevin Lemansky is going to be starting in the fifth spot.
Yeah, Chris Moses is going to start from the sixth spot. Zach Hefner takes seventh. Kevin Kirkbride takes eighth. Aaron Parsons is in ninth, and Canadian Kevin Miller starts 10th.
John Watson from 11th. Sean Ricker is going to start 12th. Jake Feature with a nice time there, starting in 13th. John Houston back in 14th. And Jesse Olsen's going to start in 15th.
Joel Ekman starts 16th. Alan Jacobs, saw him try to set a time. We're looking for him to put in slightly better, but will start only from 17th. Ryan Robbins takes 18th. Iggy Shordia starts 19th. And Thomas Schubeck starts 20th.
Gary Roth is going to start in the 21st spot, followed by Greg Myers in 22nd. Tom Traskell. See him on the grid, but he should be starting in 23rd. Mascarelli 24th, and Omar is in 25th, followed by Story in 26th, serving some penalties here tonight. So, big storyline for tonight's race, Brad. Clearly, it is going to be attrition. And if there's ever a race that somebody can sneak a win out of here by just surviving, someone who hasn't won in a long time and keeping it together, this is the race.
I would still look for somebody within the top 10. You're absolutely right, but John Houston back there in 14th is one of those guys that comes to mind. We've seen Ryan Robbins actually put in some pretty good performances here early in his NAGP career. He's got some good speed, so maybe he's one of those ultra dark horses that can sneak through. You just have to wait and see. Wathan actually is right there in 11th too.
Yeah, Wathan's got a good shot here tonight. So we got 15 seconds to go here before we go green. Any predictions, Brad?
Mayhem.
All right. And green flag here from Monaco as Taylor leads the field into turn one. Oh, it looks like interesting. Joe LaCour is rocketed up to first, getting around Matt Taylor. Interesting. What a start from Joe LaCour.
Quite the coup. Didn't see what happened there, but that's big news. Samard back to fourth.
Hold up.
Moses, who's had a problem now, runs out the back of the field now, coming through the hairpin. There could have been some lag there and coming up to the hairpin. I think there might have been a whole bevy of drivers, nose to tail, that kind of ran into each other, kind of nose to tail. But it looked like it could have been a lag situation. I'm not sure that's what caught out Moses, but might have.
Houston has picked up some spots up to 14th. Sorry, up to 10th from 14th. Jake Beamster. Put some pressure on. Parsons lost some spots here. Brad running in 12th.
It's another problem for Moses now with heavy suspension damage, so he's barely able to get that car even around the track. He'll have to come in.
We'll have to come in for some service. Miller, meanwhile, has jumped up to 7th after starting in 10th, I believe it was.
Out thereabouts.
A little further back, really. A lot of. Oh, Hefner sets fast lap on the race with the 25-7.
Yeah, right now, okay, so far so good. We survived the initial, possible mayhem. So right now, everybody can breathe a little bit of relief here and get on with the business of trying to survive the rest of the event.
Over Jesse Olsen, Nicky Chiodia running in 13th. Tunnel. Did you happen to see what happened to Moses? I did not catch that.
No. It was something on the first lap, and then when I went back, he had some dense suspension.
This battle for third starting to tighten up here as DeGrasse and Samard. Samard putting a lot of pressure on DeGrasse.
Championship rival right behind Samard in 5th is Kevin Kirkbride, so Wathan's out.
Well, I was just going to mention we have not had a retirement up to this point, and Wathan our first casualty.
Made it to lap 4, not too shabby. Ooh, Samard going for the move.
Samard looking on the inside and gets it done. Very bold move there, but DeGrasse gives him plenty of space.
Wisely back off early there, and why not, really? Survival is pretty key. One position is not going to kill you.
Traskell up.
2 and 1 lap.
Jacobs starting, goes back at 15th to 16th, now running up in 11th.
Parsons now. Yeah, Parsons at the back of the grid as well, running in the back after a stop.
So it looks like Parsons had some damage and had also get some service stuff as Joe LaCour is such fast lap of the race.
Sure does, and now gaining a bit of ground on Matt Taylor.
Yeah, Matt Taylor was tucked up behind Joe LaCour for a number of laps, but maybe made a mistake and he's lost a bit of ground. But the gap between first and second, 1.6 seconds. Samard 4 seconds off the leader. Kirkbride starting to close up on Mark DeGraw here.
Yeah, so interesting. You wonder if Mark DeGraw, he saw Samard, of course, get by, and losing some pace now to Kevin Kirkbride. So perhaps DeGraw has really stuffed that tank as full as it can go, and is a little slow with fuel weight, possibly.
Lansky gingerly making his way through that chicane. He's talking to. As DeGraw nearly throws it off, it's going to get Kirkbride and possibly Hefner an opportunity to get past.
Oh yeah, that was a dangerous situation for Kevin Kirkbride. He took that very wide to the outside, and Mark DeGraw is very surprised they didn't make contact there. That's right where DeGraw should have been. I think Kevin Kirkbride is trying to squeeze him from attempting to pass there. That was a very risky situation. I could easily have taken them both out.
Thus the position change in favor of Kirkbride, so that's big for him. He can may have a bit of pace over DeGraw, so this will give him an opportunity here to try and catch up to Philippe Samard just to head up on track.
Yeah, it did seem like he had some pace, so.
DeGraw. One thing I noticed between this session and the qualified session, these guys are really being patient, getting their way through that chicane.
Yeah, there's just no, you have to, and even if you are patient, it's still, I don't know what it is. 70% you're going to make it through, 54 laps of even really super trying to be careful through there. It's tough.
Going back to my previous point, I was talking to some guys earlier saying that cars can go about 41 to 42 laps on a full tank. 27 go halfway, but you might see some guys really stretch it out here. Tire change will not, more than likely not be necessary.
Yeah, it's interesting. It looked like that taking those fuel runs very long last week really benefited some of the guys, didn't it? Saving the time there in the pits for that fuel stop at Brandt Hatch. Paid some dividends for a few guys. I think the grid paid notice to that.
Taylor in particular. We got a really close battle here between Kevin Miller and Kevin Lemansky. This is the battle for 7th.
Yeah, it's been Lemansky gaining some ground on Kevin. Kevin was really shallow entering the chicane. I wasn't sure he was going to make it there for a second.
It was pretty quick whenever he did. He really pulled away from Lemansky through that part of the track.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. First of all, not to see him wreck, and second, to see him gain some ground there.
Further back for last points pay position, Gary Robb, Greg Myers, and Omar Gomez in 18th. putting the heat on Rock.
Boy.
Parsons and Moses running 21 and 22. Moses already a lap down. Parsons. Ooh, as Rock takes it way wide into the wall, gets in contact with Myers. And Rock has spun it. Gomez could take advantage of this situation. Greg had no chance of avoiding Rock there as he made a big mistake going into turn 1.
Oh wait, what the heck? No boom? Where's my boom?
Ooh, I didn't start the boom.
Ow.
See if we get it started here. Hold on. Whoops.
Boy, meanwhile, while you check that stuff out, it is beginning to tighten.
Oh, Omar gets it all wrong. Schubeck gets entangled with him
No.
through the chicane. Those guys got the chicane blocked right now. This is going to be a very tricky situation. Nobody, who's coming there through? That is Brian Story. He's going to get past. Okay.
Boy, tough luck for Schubert. I tell you, I was actually pretty impressed with Schubeck's drive last week. He was in a tough spot. Hasn't been around in the league for a while. Took a bunch of time off. Tonight's not going to get any better for him. Ouch. Kind of hopeful.
Boom is back. Omar is into the pit lane. Meanwhile, stunning turn of events here. Samard has found himself in the lead.
Oh, Taylor coming in with damage.
Taylor in, Joe LaCour in with damage from the lead. I'm sorry, we were watching the other situation play out, but is now Samard leading this race by 3.3 seconds over Kevin Kirkbride. I apologize to everybody in the stream not catching that.
You can only assume Joe LaCour made a mistake, right, out front and collected Taylor. That's the only thing you can assume. I was going to mention, I was getting really worried about Joe LaCour's pace because it was just pretty fast and like worryingly fast. So I don't know what happened, but it's unfortunate. It's like Taylor is away before Joe LaCour.
Taylor comes out ahead of Sean Ricker. And Joe LaCour still in the pits.
Boy. So
Ryan Robbins out.
A real gift, a real opportunity. Philippe Samard. Go back to back to back.
Oh, we got big incident. Big Kevin Miller. Lou Mascarelli gets it wrong in the chicane. And Kevin Miller and Lemansky get caught up.
Miller's looking like his wheel's pretty straight, so that's good. Lemansky, nah, I think his wheel's bent.
Yeah, having difficult time making his way. Yep. Suspension damage for Lemansky. So Lemansky's going to make his way into the pit lane. What a great run. Those two are running very cleanly. Mascarelli out of the race. But boy, those guys were having a tremendous battle.
So it was 4 of the top 7 came in with suspension damage the last 2 laps.
Going forward with Miller. Miller looks like he's okay. Brian Story off the pace. That's his teammate pass. So it doesn't look like it hurt Kevin Miller as much as his suspension seems okay.
Yeah.
This moves Alan Jacobs up to 8th. Jesse Olsen in 9th. Brian Story, not sure what he's doing there, but he gets contact with Jesse Olsen. where he must have some type of damage. Olsen has some contact with Story. What a great showing here for Alan Jacobs, now running in the top 10. Had a tough week last week at Brands Hatch, big spin, and got clipped with a penalty in round 1 at Kyalami, some contact as well, but strongly here in the top 10. Jake Feebster has moved up to 7th. He started around 15th. Houston started kind of mid-pack as well. He's up to 6th. Yeah, nice showing so far for these guys.
Yeah. I mean, one man's demise is another, you know. But it's Simard and Kirkbride right now, such beneficiaries of that flurry of activity. Ooh, Ekman out.
Ekman is out.
And I said before we had that big problem that this gives Simard the opportunity to win 3 in a row, which is more or less unheard of, right? And pretty big bonus. I mean, in terms of championship type stuff, as teammate Ian Jolicoeur running right ahead, last car on the lead lap.
Yeah, this is working out for Simard clearly, but Simard, Kirkbride, both these guys have finished 1st and 2nd in the last 2 weeks in a row, staying out of trouble, running clean for the most part. Some of these other guys who should be up there and challenging for wins, making mistakes, going off. These guys just have limited those problems. So. Well, it looks like Jacobs has lost the spot to Jesse Olsen. Jesse Olsen has now moved up to 8th.
Yeah, the thing that strikes me about Alan is he obviously comes prepared, right? He's definitely getting his laps in and drives very well. I mean, came up with a penalty last week, and it happens to everybody occasionally, so not going to draw any conclusions from that necessarily, but obviously puts his time in. So.
Miller and Houston, what's going on here? These guys are starting to close up a bit here on Kevin Miller. Olsen holding Jacobs at bay for the time being. Like we said, it's only working lap 14, but given the attrition rate, you know what could happen for these guys. Running 5th, 6th, and 7th.
I mean, we've lost 6. That's I don't know if that's more or less than I expected, but it could have been worse, I guess.
Brewster just sets his best lap of the race. 25 and change. Samar's got the best lap so far with a 23.9. Followed by Kirkbride. I'm sorry, Jolicoeur, the 24 flat. Kirkbride, but Phoebe's at 25.1 compared to Houston 25.8. So it looks like Phoebster has pace on both Houston and Kevin Miller. We're both up ahead of him on track.
Only problem is getting past. I tell you, that battle at the front is still darn close. Kirkbride is not giving anything up. These guys are continuing to set better laps now. 24 flat from Kevin Kirkbride. It's right when guys start turning their best laps, you have to worry there for a couple laps. They start taking, okay, I'm feeling good, the times are coming down, now I can start to push a little bit. That's when you got to be nervous.
Samar just ran it wide. I don't know if he clipped the wall there. He was very close. Right around Casino.
He's been having a lot of trouble coming through Beauregard, so I've seen him very sideways through there multiple times. The turn just.
Oh, and he takes it wide again at the hairpin. Jolicoeur a lap down. Should be yielding here to Oh, Samard is off pace. He may have some damage. Jolicoeur gets past. On board with Kirkbride. Not sure of the strategy there.
Yeah, I don't. What's going on? So is Ian trying to let his teammate past, or what the heck they got going on here?
I gotta wonder if maybe Samard realizes that Ian may have a little bit better pace, let him past, and rather than Ian let Kevin and Philippe pass.
Maybe. Well, Ian was in front before. He was the last car on the lead lap.
Yeah.
So if he had gotten behind Samard, then I don't, he'd already let him through once.
Well, it definitely looks like he's having some issues. Looks like he's got it back together here, but guys are now starting to close back up on Jolicoeur. It's a matter of Jolicoeur. Oh, some contact between Samard and Kirkbride.
I mean, all I know, if I'm Samard, I'm telling Ian to get the heck out of the way. I'm not saying he should. I'm saying that's what I'm going to say to him. I'm like, dude, you gotta run a pick on Ian, on Kirkbride.
Samard with a big mistake through the chicane. They're going to go side by side, and now contact. This is what I'm talking. Oh, Kirkbride's going to make his way past, take over the lead.
Yeah, big contact for Philippe Samard there.
Samard's got suspension damage, it looks like.
I'm surprised Kirkbride didn't get tangled up in that worse than he did.
Yep, Samard's going to pull it in. Oh, that's just ahead of DeGras. DeGras moves up to second. Let's see. Well, if anybody, DeGras proved last week he can actually run quick with suspension damage, and make passes and finish well. So who knows what's going on here? It's a little bit of a tougher track. I don't know.
Yeah, his wheel's still straight. I mean, actually, you can almost run out of lock to get around some of the corners, obviously, on the left-handers, right? Particularly at the hairpin, if the wheel's too bent. So
we got a new leader, Kevin Kirkbride. He's now taking over the lead. DeGras now running in second and in third. Kirkbride's teammate, Zach Hefner, followed now by Kevin Miller in fourth. Houston now up to fifth, followed by Feemster, Olsen, Jacobs in 10th, Iggy Chiordia running in 9th.
Nice.
Way to go, Iggy. Matt Taylor in 10th. Philippe Samard, looks like he's gotten serviced and is now rejoined in 11th. Sean Ricker running in 12th. Followed by Thomas Schubeck in 13th. Parsons 14th, right behind Schubes. Jolicoeur back in 15th. So actually these three drivers pretty nose to tail. Mansky a lap down in 16th. Myers running in 17th. Moses in 19th, followed by Omar Gomez and Brian Story. 4 laps down in the 20th position. So it looks like Schubeck's pulled over for these guys. So Ian and Jolicoeur really running sideways through there. He's trying to reel in Parsons.
Wow. Well, so it's three guys basically who have not made a mistake. Kirkbride, DeGras, and Hefner running 1, 2, and 3, all within 5
Miller and
seconds.
Houston too. Yep.
No, I understand, but I mean, well, Miller has actually, he's got a little bit of I mean, he has made some contact. Houston, I think, has been running pretty clean, but I mean, more or less in terms of the front runners, right? The top three. So,
DeGraw takes it way wide, makes a mistake. Hefner's going to get past.
And DeGraw hasn't looked particularly great, has he? But he's just, through attrition, has managed to stay up there.
He's made a couple mistakes here through that final corner, but he's been able to power through it. Stay ahead of the guy behind him.
Yeah, if DeGraw has damage, it's like, you know, a yellow side pod or something. It's hardly nothing. So he clearly has gotten past in a number of spots, but it's been the right thing to do, is just give up the position. Oh, Iggy out now.
Oh, that's a tough break for Iggy. Running in the top 10 and his race has come to an end.
Bummer. So, we got another 4 laps or so from halfway, right? We got a ways to go. No, excuse me. Yeah, like 8, 6 or 7, yeah.
7, yep. Looks like DeGraw, Schubeck. Schubeck came into the pit lane. The way things are going, Moses and Parsons may find themselves in the top 10 here before you know it.
That'd be a big boost. They really need it.
Closest battle on track currently is Parsons Ford match up there. And looks like Kirkbride has gotten by both these guys, so put them in both the lap down. And DeGraw and Hefner running pretty closely. Oh, Jolie Core stuffs it in at the hairpin and makes contact with Aaron Parsons. A bit of an ambitious move there from Joe LaCour. I wonder if Parsons has damage suspension. Nope, it's looking clean. LaCour lets Parsons back past. Oh boy. Through the hair chicane. For a moment there, I thought he was going to try and make an overtake into that corner, but thought better of it.
Yeah, that is a pretty close battle on track. Another close battle is with every driver right now inside their head, trying to navigate the extreme stress of making clean laps on this very difficult track. Samard currently running in the 10th position. We have to assume he's not going to be able to make it the rest of the
Oh, Hefner with a big mistake.
Oh.
Lemansky is passed. Oh, and Schubeck behind him also. These guys got to be very careful here. Hefner away gingerly. Kevin Miller now closing up on him. Miller going to be able to get past. It looks like he is. So Miller now up to 3rd. Just wonder if Zach, does he have suspension damage or not?
His wheel's pretty straight. His wheel's still pretty straight.
So it might be all right here. Schubeck doing his best to stay out of the way of these guys. What a big boost here for Kevin Miller now, currently on the podium.
2 guys left without that big mistake, Kirkbride and DeGraw.
Jack Ivy checking in. What's happening, Jack? Thursday night broadcasting. Now Kevin Miller makes a slight bobble, and Zach Hefner's going to try and take advantage. Going to be side by side into the final corner. Kevin Miller? Yes, he hangs on to that spot.
Jeepers.
Gap between first and second is 5.6 seconds. Kirkbride continuing to run well.
Yeah, that's still very close at the front, between the front two. I mean, 6 seconds is almost nothing. And when you consider a small mistake, and it's, you know, the gaps.
DeGraw had a pole last season. He did. Had a couple opportunities to win that just fell out of his grasp there. As this is going to be another close run here between Hefner and Miller at the turn one. DeGraw's been chomping at the bit here. This is one guy who's ready to take a win. It's him.
Looks like Zach has settled down a bit after that incident. I think thinking his lucky stars he didn't have that heavy suspension damage. The cars will run okay, assuming you don't have that bent suspension.
Keep following this battle, Brad. I got to step away for 1 second.
Yeah. Al steps away. It's a quick recap here in our chase for the season 33 season crown. Been a wild affair. 26 starters here at this Monaco 66 layout. And the Ferrari 312's Kevin Miller now makes a big mistake. I assume Al is on those pictures. Zach Hefner is going to go through, and Kevin Miller actually hardened to the wall and now spins in front of John Houston. He's going to have to take evasive action. So big turn of events. Kevin Miller now sliding back into 5th place with heavy suspension damage. So he will have to be making a quick entrance into the pit lane. And so Kevin Miller now going to be pitting from that 6th or 7th spot, but losing boatloads of time in the pits. And that's only going to help out some of the guys who have had to do that already earlier in the race. Notables championship leader Philippe Simard being one of those, having to come in for heavy damage. Chris Moses, Aaron Parsons as well, coming in for significant repairs. Ian Jolicoeur leading this race early, having to come in to fix suspension damage, so major repairs for him. Matt Taylor leading at one point as well, coming in for major repairs.
Now making a move on Alan Jacobs, excuse me. And moves up to 6th. So Brad, I heard you. Kevin Miller in the pits getting service. Now back in 12th. Tough break for Kevin Miller as Taylor just put a nice pass on Alan Jacobs. So after his problems early in the race, Moses has called it a night. Very rare occurrence to see that, but Moses is done.
Yeah, especially with, hardly any of the field left. I mean, he was running at the back of the field in the points, basically, right? But I understand. I pulled the chute myself for like the 4th time ever earlier in this season, so I get it.
So the field is kind of spread out here. Is Jacobs off pace? He is. Jacobs just now. Another person suffering a run in here from the 8th position with suspension damage. Well, Jacobs, you know what? Get it fixed. Get back out there. You'll be fine.
Yeah, the good news from here, you can make it the rest of the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's not
a single stop.
Right. Doesn't have much happen near the end of the lap. You can get it fixed. Do his pit stop and get back out there. We're just about close to halfway.
Yeah, Samard he just completed a second stop, so Samard's back in 15th, and he's one of the first of the guys to stop twice. And here's teammate Ian Jolicoeur in as well for a scheduled fuel stop. Has to be, yeah, soon.
I'm not sure what happened to DeGrasse. He's fallen off the pace there. He is back in second, 8 seconds off of Kirkbride.
Yeah, I think this is just down to a little bit of pace and, you know, the minor mistakes here or there, but that's fine. If you're Mark DeGrasse, that's great. You know, I'll run around here in second place all day till I see the checkered flag. And possibly seeing, you know, a win if Kirkbride wins within, say, possible at any time.
Follow our leaders. See what Kirkbride elects to do here. If he decides to come in at the halfway point, his teammate a bit behind, 33 seconds off. He's had a major spin, but managed to survive and continue on here in his first stint. 33 seconds off of his teammate, but he's got a bit of time over John Houston, who's running in 4th. Olsen has worked his way up to 5th. Ricker in 7th. Also his teammate. Oh, Ricker! That's as we clicked on. And Ricker now! Off pace with suspension damage.
He's got so much he might not be able to navigate the track, Al.
Ooh, that was a tricky situation there, but Parsons gets through okay.
See if they'll be able to turn around the hairpin. I might be close. No.
Ra's going to try and work his way past. Turns right okay. Just won't turn left. Taylor now starting to close up a little bit on Jesse Olsen.
Yeah, pole sitter Matt Taylor has obviously come way back due to, you know, the same circumstances that caught him out have caught out others. But you know what? At this point, man, you just really got to be thinking about finishing this race, right? So. I don't know how many chances you take trying to get past Jesse Olsen if he doesn't cooperate, basically give you the spot. Of course, well, I'm not sure if Taylor, I think Taylor may have come in for a second time already. He may have another stop to make.
Continue to watch this battle between Olsen and Taylor. Taylor ahead briefly, but Olsen's going to hang on to that spot. Ricker in the pits, getting serviced. Kirkbride remains out on track.
Now, it should be noted, these cars actually, when they do lose some of that fuel weight, again, the cars are stabilized a little bit, so they become even a little worse without the fuel on board around this place. Just FYI.
So looking at the current standings, we're taking a look at Aaron Parsons here, running in 7th. Keep in mind, he was, first, second lap, he stuffed it into the wall, or something happened to him where he broke the suspension, brought it back in, got service, still pushed out there, and finds himself in 7th. So this is going to pay out for him, for sure. Samard now trying to make his way past Sean Ricker. He does. Ricker exiting the pit lane, so Samar takes advantage, 2 laps down currently.
It's hard to say exactly how much more the French Connection will be able to recover their points position, but right now it's that Captain Clutch squad of DeGraw and Taylor who's really in the catbird seat to capitalize on some big points, big team points here for that crew tonight.
So Jesse Olsen in on lap 29. Taylor stays out. All these early stops for repairs and whatnot, this has really kind of put a wrench into in terms of strategy, who's doing what. I mean, normally you may see guys, a lot of guys will come in at the halfway point, but things are so shaken up. Kirkbride is still out there on lap 30, so it doesn't look like that strategy's out the window, so we'll have to wait and see what Kirkbride elects to do here. Samar trying to reel in Greg Myers, running in 12th. His teammate Jacobs, who was running in the top 10, suffered some damage, came in, got serviced, back out in 15th. Still in the points.
Yeah, we know the cars can make it, as far as lap 40 to 42, something like that?
41, 42, so what we've come accustomed to here, Brad, at Monaco. Field starts to dwindle and spread out, and we get to have some nice conversations about random things, and we're just about at that point.
Yeah, getting close, but
yeah.
Really it's been 8 retirements, which is really not too shabby. I think it could be worse.
Trying to see who we can bring up here into the broadcast booth. Somebody who is checked out of the race. John Watson, do you copy?
I do.
Watson, what happened? We had a great start there. Some incidents happened. You saw yourself, I think you were running the top 10.
Yeah, I got in the back of somebody at the first hairpin, and everybody stopped, so I kind of got around them and was in 9th place and was running okay, and then got up through the S's at the beginning of the lap, and I came up to the top of the hill and just kind of started looping it and couldn't catch it, and then I just became a pinball after that, and then I tried to make it to the pits, and I had too much damage on the rear, and I crashed again at the chicane.
Did you happen to see what happened around you? Saw Moses take some damage, some other guys. How was that first opening lap, I guess?
It was pretty clean until we got to the first hairpin, and then after that, I mean, it was clean until actually all the way through the first lap. But I made a mistake at the top of the hill and lost it, and then I don't know who was behind me. I can't imagine Moses. I don't know where he was. He might have got caught up in my wreck.
Yeah, I think there were quite a few people that got jammed up there in that incident at the hairpin, but. Yeah, it's tough luck tonight. We're keeping an eyeball on you, and maybe considering you had the opportunity for kind of a dark horse type situation tonight with the nature of the track, and maybe people having some problems. But unfortunately, it caught you out tonight, John.
Yeah, I was looking forward to it because I did a lot of practice about a month ago when it was on the server before the season started. So I thought I had a little bit of a head start, and actually it felt pretty good. Tonight something clicked and I learned how to get through that chicane pretty well. But no, I just screwed up on my own. These cars are just tough.
Well, get them next week, Watson. Thanks for joining us, and good luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for doing the broadcast.
So it was 9 seconds advantage for Kirkbride over DeGraw.
Yep, I was just going to mention Kirkbride has come in and pitted. remains out on track. We're watching this Parsons-Olsen battle. Parsons has regained his lap, so he is now back on the lead lap in 7th, but soon he still has to come in. His teammate running in 4th.
Now Parsons had to come in very early, so he stuffed it full. I would assume he went ahead and would slap the full tank on just in case, which would suggest he'd come in lap 40, 45, right?
Yep. Looking at best laps, Samad still holds the fast lap of the race, 23.9. Haven't seen any other guys running blinded laps. Parsons. He moved over to let the leader by DeGraw.
Boy. Speaking of smart, he just put in a 145 lap not too long ago, which is, I don't think is a pit stop. Shouldn't be a pit stop.
I looked like the Kirkbride was pretty quick in and out. But, I don't know, depending what DeGraw here does, how late he stays out, this could be a quick stop and go for him to the end of the race. I mean, he can pick up some time here at Kirkbride. He can find himself in and out in the lead.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think that he's just going to be able to match the pace, even if it's just down to being kind of careful. I don't think DeGraw can actually push for the kind of pace that he needs, but Kirkbride can make he can make a mistake. Look, if you're running second on a track like this, at any moment you can find yourself, in the lead. So. Right now, trying to lap up to 6, and that's difficult for these guys, really. I mean, if you're running 6, you sure don't want to pull over.
Taylor, another guy who had some problems early on, has worked his way up to 5th, is starting to close up a little bit on John Houston. Taylor, our pole sitter here tonight, reading actually some of the comments, and it looks like a bit of a issue with the track. The second position was actually slightly ahead of first on the grid, so that explains why the 4 rocking it out to that quick lead. Jump on board with Parsons here as he tries to get around Jesse Olsen. That's going to be a pretty tall order here. These guys had some battles last season. Ooh, Olsen now takes it into the wall. Parsons has to check up and does a great job saving that. Let's check that out on the boom replay, Brad. What do you think?
Oh shoot! I forgot to fire it up.
I just did.
All right. Take a look at what we got here.
Olsen there just ahead of Parsons. Big slide and nice correction. Nice save there from Parsons to keep it together there.
Yeah, that was really the main key, is Parsons being able to stay off the back, stay out of big trouble.
We were watching the replay. Parsons has managed to get past Olsen. So now Parsons up to 6th. Teammate Houston has come into the pits and he's back out in 5th. So Taylor moves ahead. Samard out. Our championship leader has DNF'd for the first time this season. We saw a couple times last season, suffered some retirements early, but wow, that is a big hit, and that championship lead 50. It's 12 points. So if Kirkbride continues what he's doing here, he's going to take over that lead in the championship.
Yeah. If he keeps doing what he's doing, and teammate Zach Hefner's looking pretty good too.
I was just going to say that big boost for the team championship as well.
Yeah, so those guys doing good. And look, the Captain Clutch is picking up quite a few points, but
ooh, Houston back into the pits. So Houston looks like he's made a mistake and is getting serviced.
Oh, just out and then right back in. Oh.
Ryan Story in. DeGraw continues to lead. We're working lap 36 of a scheduled 54.
Parsons back up to fifth.
That's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing performance from Parsons. Granted, he's a lap down, but
look, clearly this race needs to be shortened. Okay, so let's not forget that next season.
Depending on what we drive, who knows? Yeah.
I'm just saying. Or lengthen it, one of the two.
So Philippe out of the Discord we're in, so he has called it a night. So our running order currently, let's take a look at some of these guys. DeGraw, who are following, currently in first. Kirkbride. Gap has been pretty static there. It hasn't really changed. So Kirkbride continues to run in second. Hefner in third. Taylor has moved up to fourth. Parsons lap down in fifth. Jesse Olsen running in the sixth position. That's showing for him. Kevin Miller suffered damage. Got it fixed. Now runs in seventh. Joe LaCour, likewise, eighth. Jake Feemster in the ninth position, followed by his teammate Kevin Lemansky. Sean Ricker runs in 11th, followed by John Houston, who is in the pits still. Myers has just gotten by, so Myers now in 12th. Alan Jacobs moves up to 13th. That's Myers' teammate, John Houston. Looks like he's gonna be in there 2 minutes 24 seconds. He's gonna be in there a while. Schubeck running in 14th, and Story still out on track, is 9 laps down.
Yeah. I guess Schubeck, he had a big stop repair. Otherwise, he'd be running great. Schubeck would be way up there. Man, I guess you could say that about everybody. But
Beamster now in the pits. DeGraw has finally come in. So let's see what happens here. DeGraw in the pits. Kirkbride must have made a mistake, lost some time. He's now just... A little bit. Yep. I'm sorry, I got that confused. So Kirkbride has taken over the lead. Hefner up to second. DeGraw still in the pits for quite a while. I wonder if he's changing tires. This might bring Taylor now up to fourth. Huh. This is a very lengthy stop for DeGraw, I'm sure.
Yeah.
This isn't what... Ooh, and DeGraw is out!
Maybe they weren't servicing the car or something, Al.
Ooh, that is very, very unfortunate.
Oh, God, are you kidding me?
Beamster now out. Unbelievable.
Words out of my mouth.
Mark DeGraw, do you copy? I couldn't hear him, so I'm not sure what happened to him. But clearly, more than likely upset, doesn't want to talk about it. So, tough night for DeGraw. It's too bad.
Yeah, I think he was there, but coming in very low. So.
Okay. Well, Kevin Miller, he is now in 8th. Joe LaCour ahead of him. That gap was dropping slightly. This brings Parsons, Brad, up to 4th on the lead lap.
I was just looking at that.
Olsen in 5th.
Yeah.
Houston is back. Oh, I think Houston is done. Yeah, he's done. He's parked at 4 laps down. He's just sitting in the pits now. So, let's see. There was a bit of a wager here as to the over-under on finishes. Let's check the forum real quick and see what it was at. Prediction was 3 with only 14. Looks like 14 laps to go. We might beat that. But again, I mean, this is a very, very difficult situation these guys are in. This is a very difficult car to drive around a very difficult track. So, you know, you might be someone watching this right now might think, wow, you know, got all these retirements. Load the game, jump in here, jump on the track, and let's see how you can manage getting around this place. It's very, very difficult.
Yeah, it's one thing to kind of just navigate and drive around. Ooh, Alan Holmes. It's another when you get in a situation where you obviously have to maintain some type of minimum speed, right? So. And whatever that minimum is, it's stressful, and to do it for 54 laps is difficult. Yeah, and then it just gets more and more difficult the farther up you go. You start talking about Kirkbride, Hefner, Taylor, Parsons, Samard. You talk about those guys with the shot of winning, and the stress is just right at the very tippy top of the deal, and trying to make laps fast, lap after lap, while trying not to kill you. It's very difficult.
I'll tell you what, I am blown away that Parsons has maintained and has put himself back on the lead lap. And we believe he still has to stop, right?
Well, I was just looking at that, but I can't get back to the first column of laps again, so I don't know what's going on. But I think he stopped twice. I think. No, I mean, last I checked, he had not actually. He had not stopped. So he may stop.
Jump on board with Thomas Schubeck here, running in.
Yeah.
In 13th, he's about to move up into 12th here.
Earning the lion's share of PMR points tonight.
Yep. Somebody's got to do it. His teammate, Moses.
Shaggy Dan rating? What? Look, that's your first rate, Al. Look at that. Should save that shit.
I don't even know what that means.
Well, awesome on Shaggy Dan. What a guy.
Well, thank you. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe you can explain it, Brad. But
we had a Twitch streamer invite some people over to the channel. I don't know. Might have found some random racing channel and had some of his viewers jump in. So.
Oh, sweet. Nice.
Thanks, Shaggy. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, Shaggy, thank you. But I got to tell you, it's working lap 43 of 54 here at Monaco 66. In the very difficult Ferrari 312, and as expected, the attrition has been a bit high here, and gaps are kind of spread out. Oh, looks like Hefner has pulled it into the pits.
Ah.
So it looks like Hefner might have had an issue. Well, what lap? We're working lap 43. I don't know. Did Hefner stop? No, he's away. He's quick stop. Taylor's gonna. Is he gonna make his way past? Oh, Taylor gets by now and takes over second place. Our pole sitter. Jumping up. It is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. And we assume Taylor's good to go because he came in kind of late. So Taylor, that gap between first and second is 30 seconds. Well, between first, second, and third. The gap is about 30 seconds. So these guys are a bit off Kirkbride's pace, but
yeah, look, the last thing you want to do now, second, third, whatever. If you're Matt Taylor and Zach Hefner right now, you guys don't want to be fighting for position. Just take your positions and go home. I mean, holy cow! Especially if you're Matt Taylor, to come all the way back, you're buried back in the field. First lap incident. Holy, I mean, you know, if you're running second right now, you take it with a smile right now.
Whoa, Olsen with some problems now. Ooh. Oh yeah, Olsen with suspension damage, so trying to limp his way into the pits here.
He can't even get off of the Armco. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I can't stress enough how difficult this car is. And I'm gonna be honest, we got some very, very talented people that race in this league from literally all over the world. And some really great drivers, both in Monday and Thursday. And see them struggle the way they are around here says a lot about this layout and these cars and the track.
One of our drivers does help with some of the development, or has had input in the past. I mean, so says something.
That is true.
It's rough out there. It's as brutal, I think, as we might have expected. But what I didn't necessarily expect was it's an impressive drive by Taylor and Parsons to have that type of trouble and to make that type of recovery. I mean, it's damn impressive.
We're on board with Zach Hefner here. Our closest battle on track. Hefner with a late pit stop. Taylor really pushing hard after his incident pitted and managed to come out just ahead of Zach Hefner as Hefner was coming out of, well, I should say managed to pass Hefner into turn one as Hefner was coming out of the pits. And Taylor has good pace. He was our pole sitter, so it looks like he's slowly starting to pull away from Hefner.
Yeah, he might be pulling away slightly, but you know what? It just doesn't matter. He's not pulling away enough to where it's worth pushing, right, to try to pull away. I mean, if I'm Zach Hefner, I'll be honest with you, Alan, in a race like this, I think about even just backing off. Giving Taylor a couple, 3 seconds, not even, you know, I don't want him thinking about me behind him, trying to push and make a mistake where I might hit him, right? I mean, you know, call me conservative, but Jesus, I didn't, you know. The one guy who has not made a mistake this race, Kirkbride, has all but, you know, he might as well have. He's come as close as, you know, you can without making a mistake.
We had, I believe, 28 starters, 27 starters. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, a boatload of retirements. We got 12 running so far. 2 are stopped in the pits. Hefner's not giving up here. He is really trying to push, but Taylor not laying off here. We'll look at Taylor's laps. 4-2 last time by. Matching that pace. He does have that 144, but he didn't come in for a pit stop. So boy, right behind Matt Taylor. Joe LaCour is a lap down, running in 5th. So Joe LaCour and Parsons came in right around the same time, Brad. But Parsons really, you gotta wonder if Joe LaCour must have run into some trouble again. And what a drive from Parsons.
Yeah, clearly it's been pretty ridiculously good after that initial incident. No doubt about it. Yeah, Hefner is pushing. I don't know, man. I don't see it. I back off at this point, honestly. You still can pop a motor. I mean, it's possible in these things. I mean, the gaps are opened up, right? So if you do make a mistake,
go ahead, start.
Yeah, no. If you do make a mistake, if you bend it, you bend up the suspension. You can come in, not lose but a couple 3 positions, probably, right? But you can still blow the motor. You still don't want to give up the positions you got. And there's no reason to, really.
That gap has shrunk, so Hefner really closing up here on Taylor.
No, he's pushing up. I mean, he wants the, they want to finish 1-2. The team wants the glory. I get it. I'm just saying it's not worth it. Yeah, it is Joe LaCour behind those two in 5th. Lapped at the 5th, right?
Yep.
Ridiculous.
I'm trying to find the results here from our last race. We're at the different layouts, but just as difficult.
Oh! Brian Story, I don't know if he, I don't know what happened. Unbelievable. Oh, boom it, Al. Might. Yeah, I think it will, actually. Unless Parson wrecks it before he gets back by. I think that's Brian's Story.
Yep, that was Brian's Story. Some contact there with Story, and man, tough situation there for Hefner. Hefner is in the pits getting serviced, we believe.
Yeah, Parsons up to 3rd. Like I say, I'm not saying it caused it. All I know is I'm backing off, and I'm just being super careful. That's all I know.
Schubeck back into the pits for some more service, 6.1 laps down. He is out and back out on track.
What a brutal night.
And we kind of expected it, right? This is what we talked about at the start of the race. We kind of figured it was going to turn out this way.
It's turned out as bad as I thought it could be.
Yeah, for sure.
I was hoping it wouldn't be as bad as I thought. Yeah, ridiculous.
Joe LaCour now up to 4th. So it looks like Kirkbride, the only driver out there so far. We haven't watched all of his laps, but the only driver so far to really keep it clean out there.
Yeah,
And
it's really impressive. Taylor's run looks more and more impressive as that gap holds to Kevin Kirkbride, because that's what it's been basically since Taylor came in after his initial problem.
Parsons is in, so this should be a quick stop. Yep, he's away.
Oh yeah, wow.
And Hefner just goes by, so he's going to fall a lap down, and still retain that 3rd podium spot. So the field lap up to the second lap for P2. That is pretty remarkable. Let's see, last season we lapped up to 6th.
Wow. I think this is probably, one of our worst. I think we had one of the early Spa 66 and the 49, Type 49 or whatever it was. I think that might have been worse when he had, like, I don't know, 6 finishers or something. this is a close second or third. Yeah. Well, you'd think that the layout would help a little bit, right? It's not the modern layout with the swimming pool, complex chicane, all that jazz. But these cars and the way that the braking zones are laid out, and the way the bumps are, and the way the car responds to those braking zones, that's really where the problems come in. Yeah. Oh, Shoebs goes past Olsen. He was in the pit, so Shoebs up to 11. What is it? Is Al muted?
Yeah, I don't know. This OBS mutes me automatically for some reason. But yeah, we saw Olsen with some heavy damage, so he must have had a really long stop and came out and made another mistake.
It's Taylor now. Best lap of the race a couple laps ago, turning in fast laps. This is when you got to watch out.
Yep.
Parsons could end up, in second place here in a lap.
I know. That's pretty amazing.
Well, you get the feeling it, right? And you obviously don't want to drive.
Oh, Kirkbride makes a mistake. Messes up the chicane. He's backing up now to try and get it. Ooh, it hits the wall. And gets it going again. But that Taylor's going to pick up some time there. Well, that's one mistake for Kirkbride.
He just didn't want to be left out.
No, he didn't.
The wheel's still straight, so he's going to be fine.
That lead has dropped to 7 seconds.
Yeah, if he doesn't freak out.
And Parsons now gets back onto the lead lap.
Wow. Wow.
That is pretty amazing.
Unbelievable. I don't know how many times I've said it. All right. Well, what other positions can we swap in the last lap and a half?
Probably not many. That lead is now down to 6 seconds. Kirkbride just needs to keep it together. Oh, Brian Story's still out on track. He's at 13. I thought he had parked it, but still making his way around. He lets Kirkbride by.
14 laps down, not too shabby. What's up with Myers in 10th? Yeah, I mean, it's the type of race you'd figure Greg would end up on the podium or something.
Yeah, that's a good point, but he's also had his struggles.
Kirkbride actually looks pretty settled. He doesn't look too out of sorts after that.
He seems okay, yep.
Nah.
Gap is now 6 seconds. Gonna have 1 lap to go after this, so any views out there.
So every driver in the field, as far as we know, had the potential, what would have been otherwise a catastrophic lapse. I'm really glad Kevin Kirkbride did, because that just would have been annoying if he was like the only one not to make a mistake. So that, just even things out a little bit, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, now down to 5 seconds with on the last lap here for Kirkbride. It's that one minor mistake really at the exit of the tunnel. I've got it together. NorthAmericanGP.com, on Discord as well. Anybody out there watching, we're going to get in on some racing here on Monday or Thursday nights. Monday, this open wheel in the Ferrari. And on Thursdays, we run GT. So, all are welcome.
What about the Facebook, Al? Are we still on the Facebook, or is that really for old people?
We are, but yeah, it's an old. I guess I'm really tired of that, but it's just a hassle. But anyway, yeah, we're there on Twitter, Instagram, yada. But yeah, let us know you're interested. We'll get you going. As Kirkbride comes around the final corner here to take the win at a attrition riddled, whatever.
Taylor with damage crossing the line.
Monaco 66. Taylor takes second. Parsons on the lead lap with a remarkable run after having some damage. Fell back a lap twice in this race and managed to gain it back somehow. Is going to finish in third on the podium. Last car in the lead lap.
It's a serious shot in the arm, really, for Aaron Parsons. It was a no-points finish out there at Kyalami, ran into problems, and only 10 points there last week at the Brands Hatch. So this is a big shot in the arm for Aaron Parsons. You take them however you can get on them. Boy, these guys, the finishers tonight, they put in work out there, Al. Holy cow.
They certainly did. Winner up here as Parsons makes his way through into the final corner to take that final podium position. Another really great run for him. But we got our race winner here, Kevin Kirkbride. Kevin, welcome. Congratulations on the win here tonight.
Thank you, Al. Thank you, Brad. Felt good.
Yeah, so it was a pretty compelling race in terms of the human narrative of trying to survive 54 of these types of laps. And I have to say personally, Kevin, congratulations on the win, but also I'm very glad you finally did go ahead and smash it into a wall just to even things out. So everybody, was on equal footing, but congratulations on that win.
Yeah.
Talk us through it a little bit.
Well, last night I started getting the flu, and so today I was just kind of like resting and kind of relaxing. Didn't do too many laps. Tonight I took a little nap, drank a bunch of tea, and like in qualifying I was just hot as hell. Sweat my ass off. I couldn't get a lap in, and then finally we get into the race, and I don't know. I was just kind of Zach and myself just said stay out of trouble, see what happens, and things kind of worked out early on for me, and just kept going. Had some moments there with Samard. I think he might have put it into the wall, so had some close action. That was awesome. It was really rewarding victory, and yeah, near the end I almost stuffed it in the wall. I didn't stuff it in the wall. I knew I was going to stuff it into the chicane, so I just kind of let off and eased into that slight bit of runoff, and I'm glad I had a gap, or else that would have been really disappointing.
Yeah, well,
it was a hard race.
We saw your laps there in practice were showing pretty quick, but we were trying to kind of scratching our heads here as the why you're so behind there in qualifying. So that kind of explains a lot. But I got to ask you, so Jolicoeur and Taylor out front for a while, but not sure what happened to them. We saw Samard. We kind of missed what happened. Samard ended up in front, you behind. Do you happen to catch what happened to those two?
Yeah, I think something happened to Jolicoeur and Taylor at the chicane. Maybe with lap traffic, maybe with somebody already, the car hampered there, and they both ducked into the pits when you probably saw them lose positions.
Yep.
Jolicoeur ended up pretty far back. I was running behind Samard at that point. Jolicoeur ended up pretty far back, probably serious damage. And from after that, then Samard and Jolicoeur tried to play this game where Jolicoeur was in between me and Samard. Jolicoeur was getting lapped, and Samard tried to let him back through to, try to, play some sort of game. And that kind of cost both of them, I think, because Samard ended up stuffing it into the wall. And I guess Jolicoeur did the same. I'm not sure if he finished. So, it was just a lot of lap traffic problems. I think Hefner got into some lap traffic trouble. It was just, I'm just fortunate to be last one standing up front, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a great run, but I gotta say it's gonna move you with Samard going out, moves you out in front in the points. You guys are gonna take over the team championship. Ian ended up, I believe, finishing fourth, so gaining some points. But you guys pick up points on those guys in the team championship. Move off to Zandvoort next week. You got what are you carrying? 20 kilograms, I believe, or 30. So you're gonna be carrying 50 at Zandvoort. So quite a bit of weight there for next week.
If I'm running pretty deep in the field, and let's just call it lap 35, I'm going to launch it off that hill. Okay. So just kidding. We'll see what happens. It's going to be pretty hard. I really love the car. It's fun to drive. I enjoy it. It's a good challenge, but 50 kilos there. It's a kind of a speedy track, so that's gonna crush me. So I'll just try to stay alive. Hats off to everybody tonight who made it through the race, and looking forward to watching the broadcast, gentlemen.
All right. Well, congratulations again on a great run, and good luck next week at Zandvoort.
All right. Thanks, guys.
I'm gonna try and move you down here. I gotta
all right,
baby
I can
steps.
do it.
All right. Well, Brad, there you have it. Another race here in the books. Kirkbride really, shining through here, managing to, for the most part, keeping it clean off the wall, and very impressive run for him. And what a run for Taylor and Parsons to battle back after their issues.
Kevin Kirkbride, frankly, he looked the best out on track tonight. He looked the most prepared and the most kind of driving within himself. I agree. It was very strange, whatever Samard and Jolicoeur were doing. I don't know if they were communicating or if I don't know what was going on. If I was part of that team, it wouldn't have happened. I can tell you that.
Yeah, that was on for sure.
Yeah, but he looked the best, and so he's most deserving of the win, no question about it. It was a pretty big night for some of those other guys. Matt Taylor coming up very well and definitely needed, and Ian Jolicoeur, he actually finished very strong. You mentioned it in fourth, and we kind of had forgotten about him and his troubles, but coming back up to fourth is very important for that team with Samard going back out. So, we knew that we'd have a big shakeup tonight, and we got it. So on to next week, and these guys, they're going to be ready to go for that Zandvoort track.
It's a pretty great track.
It is, and everybody's going to be very knowledgeable about it, and the cars are going to perform pretty well around that place too. So it's going to be a really intriguing race next week. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. We're going to be back next week at 9 from Zandvoort, the 67 layout. Sticking with the theme here. Until then, Thursday night, Jake Feemster and Jack Ivey will have the call from Olton Park, our first race at that circuit in the GT cars, Thursday at 9. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Until next week, we'll see y'all later. Thank you, Brad, and have a great night.